it's Nicholson here from the virtual training team, and we're on lockdown as I record this video, and we wanted to share some tips with you on managing your virtual teams. For many of us, we've had co-located teams that all of a sudden have gone completely virtual, and that means it's never been more important to be a strong manager as it is right now. So 3 things to consider to help you and your team be strong and productive and effective and together throughout this period. So the first one is about communication. How we communicate needs to be thought through if we're working remotely from each other. So think about formal communication routes, informal communication routes. How does it work? So for example, in our team, what we've decided is that anything that needs to be tracked or found later, we do that via email. Whereas anything informal, catch-ups, banter, all of that happens on Microsoft Teams in the chat, or we have lots of video calls as well. On that note, meetings. How are you doing your meetings? What's the meeting rhythm that you've got going with your team? So we've decided that shorter meetings, but maybe more meetings, are more effective. We try and keep our meetings to 15 minutes, and we all agree to be fully present and fully focused because we can for 15 minutes. It helps us be really energized in our meetings. We get through a lot because we're putting deadlines on it. And we're able to have more meetings, but more productive meetings. We've actually realized as a team that we've become better at communicating with each other since we've been on lockdown. Next up is social time. If you're in a co-located office, you can just catch up on the mood of your team, you know, by the way they dress, the way they move, the way their body language, facial expressions, tone is. But how do we catch up on mood and that social time virtually? So virtual water cooler moments, virtual coffees. Even if you think about it, when you're having meetings virtually, often we're super focused on task, progress, but where are we building in that time to socialise? So maybe we can build in some time to our meetings to socialise, but checking in with our team members regularly and encouraging them to check in with each other to have that social time is really important. And the final area to consider is ways of working. So how we work together is really important wherever we are located, but everything's just dialed up in the virtual setting. If we have agreed expectations around how we work together, then our team members can make better decisions when we're not there in the same room as them. They know what's important, what priorities are expected of them. And also if you literally virtually sat down with your team and agreed, how are we going to do this thing? How are we going to work virtually? What hours are we working? What's some of the small nuances of how we work virtually that need to be different from when we're located together? A small example for us, what we now do is on Microsoft Teams is we check in when we start in the morning, even though we all start at different times. It's just a quick hello, how are you? Looking forward to the day. We always say goodbye at the end of the day. We let each other know when we're going off on a break or doing some homeschooling or it's lunchtime. And that's not just checking up on each other. It's just checking in. It's polite. It's like if you're in the office, you'd be like, right, I'm off for lunch now. See you later. So small things like that, rather than just letting them happen, sometimes sitting down and agreeing as a team, how are we going to work together is a really powerful and important thing to do. But wherever you are and wherever your team are, stay safe and stay together.